Hey, welcome back. In this lesson, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the three parts to Maya's mind. Now, this is really important because if we can understand how, Maya is creating her trick, then we as the dreamer will start to understand where our power really lies and obviously where it isn't, so that we can really focus on being able to do the right things, so to speak, to be able to get out of her trap. Okay, so what we have first of all is when the dreamer comes down to Maya's mind, is we have this kind of sense that she sets the whole thing up in the unconscious mind. So this could be thought of as, the creator-like idea. That it could also be seen like the film in the projection box when we go to the theatre. That everything that is to happen has already been set up before we even sit down to watch the movie. So that's the first part, is this idea that there's this force that's doing everything in time and space. And that force is obviously out of awareness because it's in the unconscious mind. But we know that that's the first aspect to Maya, the all-doer, so to speak, in time and space. So then the second aspect to Maya is the ego, which is the first person perspective that the dreamer takes on when he chooses her. And obviously, he has to end up there because Maya has to offer the dreamer this kind of sense of individuality, which she promised at the start. But the thing is that everything that this individual does is all still done by Maya's mind, because everything that happens in Maya's mind is all done by Maya. So part of her trick is to give the dreamer, when he's down here, this kind of sense of autonomy. And because he's so associated now with this new ego, he starts to obviously think the thoughts he is thinking is his and the actions he is doing are his. Not in the awareness that everything is actually happening through obviously Maya doing it all. But because, as I said, because of what these tricks that Maya is able to do, she has been able to make the dreamer obviously attached to all of those things. And this is really important as well, because once the dreamer attaches to this new entity, he is going to be very reluctant to let it go. And if he's very reluctant to let it go, then of course he's not going to want to remember who he really is beyond Maya's mind. So that's the second part, and the key thing to take away there is that everything that the ego does within this movie is all being done by Maya herself. So the third part is the world outside of the ego. So that's everything else, including all the other people. That is also all of Maya as well. That essentially those three aspects, that the all-doer could be thought of as the God who does everything, the individual who perceives himself acting within the third part, the world of time and space. So they're the three parts, and all of them though make up the one mind of Maya. So that's the key thing to remember, that everything within kind of the phenomenal universe, and that includes thought, internal thought, is all being part of this Maya mind. So you may then think, well, what is the dreamer's responsibility if everything he's doing out there on the screen is all being done by this other force called Maya, and everything outside of him is all being done by this force called Maya? Then what is the dreamer's responsibility? And the dreamer's responsibility then is to get him back to the point of being the dreamer. And the dreamer could be thought of as being this observer who then looks at Maya's mind and recognizes that it's got nothing to do with me, because who I am is beyond Maya's mind in Satchit and underness, which is complete opposite to everything that's occurring in Maya's mind. So that is what the dreamer's real power is. It's the power to choose Shiva or Maya. It's not the power to be then down here as an individual to choose to go left or right, because as we will see, that both of those directions end up in the same destination, which isn't the place where we want to go, which is back up into life essentially. So we can keep that in mind as we're going forward, that That's why we can escape it all and let it all go, because we can see it as being something other than who we really are. And once we can let those attachments go, then we can and see how it is actually a restrictive system, then we can actually let it go without any sense of sacrifice and go back to the reality and wake up, so to speak. So I just wanted to quickly clarify that before we move forward and really dig down into see how the ego has to perform when he is on the stage, on Maya's stage. So with that, feel free to keep the conversation going down below, and I'll see you in the next video.